What's going on, guys? I'm back with another one, and catch up edition, might I add. And I just watched a movie called Terrifier, starring David Howard Thornton, Jenna Cannell, and Samantha Scafidi. Not only is the struggle real, the struggle is strong. It's really strong. First of all, since this movie includes it doesn't just include, it stars one of the creepiest ass clowns I've seen in a long time. I have to talk about scary clowns in movies and television. All right. Yes, those things we've had nightmares about for years and years and years. These clowns are the kings of fear. All right. They're the top notch when it comes to phobia. There's other phobias like going outside, scared of heights. No, it has nothing on clowns. And for some reason, we're so scared of these things. They're supposed to bring us happiness and laughter and make us laugh, but they don't make everybody laugh. They creep a lot of people out. It's insane. All right. And the first one I gotta talk about is JoJo the Clown from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yes, that movie is something else. And no, he's not the only one who's ugly in the team. The whole team is ugly. Okay. He's just the biggest one. This one they called Godzilla or something like that. Weirdly. But that movie alone, just it didn't rub me the right way. Don't think too hard about that. It came on HBO in the 90s, and it came on every other night. So I watched it every other night. Thank you, HBO, for being consistent and consistently messing my head up. Okay. It kind of ruined me. It ruined me. You have these ugly aliens who this is not makeup on their face. This is their real face. This is their real face. They really look like this. They look like some kind of messed up, jacked up cartoon that came to life. And now they're killing people on Earth. And it wasn't right. It wasn't right. That movie has never left my brain. I'm gonna let you know right now, okay? Then we have the one and the only, the one that everybody knows, Pennywise from It. Okay, this is the king. This is the Dundada of clowns right here. You should know who this is. If you don't, you need help. All right, and I'm not talking about the 2000s Pennywise. No. I'm talking about the 1990s Pennywise, the one who had the piranha teeth. Okay, the one who was talking all that crap. Then the next minute he has some piranha teeth for no reason. Okay, that just scared the crap out of me as a kid. All right, and Tim Curry played it. Rest in peace, Tim Curry. There's no other one like you on that one. And it's just not a diss to Skarsgård. He did a very good job. Okay, very good job. But it's nothing like the 1990s version with the movie, television movie, whatever they were trying to do there. It was a lot better than the actual movie. Okay? Sad to say. And then we have Gacy from Gacy, which is actually a real killer clown. All right? That was a real thing. The thing that got me about this film was that he had a real family at home, a normal family that he went home to and he took care of. And then he went out and he killed people. All right, so he had this double life that was so interesting throughout the film. And if you haven't seen that movie, see it. It's deep. It's deep. It's like you can go from this to that so easily. You gotta have something wrong up there. You have to have something loose in your brain to just transition that easy mentally. Okay. Then we have Kent from Clown. This is not one of the scarier ones. He's not that scary, okay? But But it's just something that's really messed up about putting a mask on your face and all of a sudden you can't get the thing off, all right? Which is just a better version of that episode from Goosebumps. Yeah, we all remember that. Yeah. So, but they did it a lot better. That's the only difference. And it's just sad to see the guy turn into this monster because, you know, it's what he looks like. So he has to just bow down to what he looks like throughout the entire movie and just start killing people. What a curse. What a curse, man. Then we have, bear with me, please, bear with me. Do not lose your mind when I say this. Ronald McDonald. Yes, I know right now everybody is saying, what the hell are you talking about? It's Ronald McDonald. You can't be serious. No, I'm dead serious. Remember when they had those benches at McDonald's and they had the porcelain statue of Ronald McDonald sitting on there and they wanted the kids to sit on there so they could take pictures with Ronald McDonald? No, I did not like that. It was the scariest crap ever for me. Ronald McDonald, there was something about Ronald McDonald that just didn't sit right with me. It was a little off. He was a lot of off. I'd rather chill with the Hamburglar. I'd rather chill with Grimace than meet Ronald McDonald. I don't want to meet Ronald McDonald. I didn't want to meet him as a kid. I don't want to meet him now. Let's put it like that, okay? And then we have Homie the Clown. Yeah, I know. A lot of questions. But hear me out here. And for the youngsters, Homie the Clown was a clown played by Damon Wayans on In Living Color, all right, who came out of prison, and he was in a program where he had to take care of little kids. Yes, it's already sounding like a pretty bad direction we're going here, right? The thing that scared me about Homie the Clown, it was that Bopham sock he had. He had a sock with a whole bunch of stuff filled in it. Then when you hit somebody with it, it hurt, depending on how hard you hit them. And so I always felt like a fear or this nervousness for the kids on the show. Those 30-year-old kids, I felt this anxiety. Like I didn't want them to get hit on the head. You didn't know when they're going to get hit on the head. You had no idea when he was going to do it. So every time his hand would move, I would squinch. I would squinch up like I was going to get hit. So it really traumatized me. It traumatized me as a kid to watch that. Even though it was funny as hell. Trust me, those skits were funny as hell, but just watching those kids have to go through all that, it did something to the mental, man. It did something to the mental. Last but not least, Bozo the Clown. There's something about Bozo the Clown's big ass head that didn't sit right with me. It freaked me out. I used to think there was something supernatural about Bozo the Clown. Like he could not be real. He couldn't be a human. I used to think that when he went backstage, he took his face off and he was a lizard person or something. And a demon voice came out of his mouth as he talked. He could not be a human with a head that big. And yes, I have a big head, but this is nothing close to that. This is not the same thing. All right. And now we have Art the Clown. And my question is, can Art the Clown make this list? We're about to find out. Let's go. Terrifier. For those who don't know, for those who are not aware, this time around, I can't blame you. If you knew about this movie, but you just never had time to watch it because, you know, other important movies are coming up and you had to watch that and do reviews on those movies. Hint, hint. Then I can't blame you. But if you had no idea about this at all, I'm gonna have to blame you. I'm gonna have to penalize you for that one. All right, because people couldn't shut up about this. They couldn't shut their mouth about how controversial this movie was. All the time. All right, but I can't blame you for maybe not having time to watch it. Okay? Don't blame me. Don't blame me. Okay? Don't blame me. Terrorizer. It's pretty much about this insane clown named Art the Clown. Simply that. And they didn't do a lot of background story on him. So it really just starts off with him setting his eyes out on this one girl named Tara, which he does in this pizza shop. And once he sets his eyes on her and her friend Don, he pretty much stalks them all through the whole night until he gets what he wants. And a lot of murder ensues along the way. And that's the premise of it. Him just hunting her down through the entire movie, along with other people. Okay? Positives. This brought back the old school 80s horror feel. The only thing that was updated in this was the cell phones. If they didn't have cell phones in this movie, I would think this movie was made in the 80s. They had the hairstyles, the music, the whole feel to it. You had your protagonist or the screen queen or whatever, and her dumb friend. There's always a dumb friend in those 80s movies. Okay, and then there's some other screen queens in here too that he's chasing around. Not gonna talk too much about that unless you have, just in case you haven't seen the movie. All right, but it reminded me of those old school films. And it's something we really need right now. All right, we needed to push away the jump scare heavy stuff and pull more of this in. All right, with the vibe at least, the 80s vibe, the 90s vibe. Bring back the 90s vibe. Something, okay? Another positive. Art the Clown never spoke one word. But those facial expressions were everything. He had some of the craziest expressions on his face, and all this, and this. He would smile, and when he would laugh, no sound would come out, but you knew he was laughing. So he was more like a mime instead of a clown. But him just acting the way he did, and the way he looked at people, the way he stared at people, like the pizza restaurant scene where he first laid eyes on Tara. All right, her dumb friend came up and tried to seduce him and talk to him and all this other crap, but he never laid eyes once on her. His whole focus was on Tara. He was staring at Tara the entire time. He did not care what else was around him. Just the way he was staring at her. I've never seen a horror killer behave in this way. Okay, I've never seen someone act like this in a horror movie as the killer. So it was quite an interesting personality set that he has. Okay, this is what sets him apart from other killers in horror movies. His face alone, the way he expresses himself alone without saying a word, it worked wonders. It worked wonders. All right. Last positive. His kill style was insane. All right. Not only did he have this bag of tricks that he carried around with him all the time, and you didn't know what he was going to pull out. He had everything in there. He had he had this chain, like this little whipping chain with spikes on it, and he would whip people with that. And just to watch that go down was it was horrible. It was horrifying. That was horrifying. You felt the pain through the screen. I felt the pain as that woman was getting whipped. Okay, I begged him to please stop hitting her with that chain, man. Please stop hitting her with the chain. It looks painful, bro. There were so many instruments that he had in that one sack. Okay, I try to figure out how he fit all that crap into one bag. It's impossible. It's impossible, but he did it. Okay, and not only that, he had this infatuation with just torturing the face. He would focus on the victim's face so much within the movie. All right, there's this one guy that he pretty much carves his eyes out like a jack-o'-lantern. Okay, and a lot more other stuff like a jack-o'-lantern too. I'm not gonna say when it happens, but when it happens, you'll know. You'll know. Trust me. And just me seeing that, I was like, okay, yeah, he loves messing with that face. He loves faces for some reason. He loves to get to mangle them and constantly strike the face with whatever weapon he's using. He's going for that face. All right. The other body parts, maybe, but that face, you can kiss it goodbye, because he's going right for that. All right. So that's his thing. That's his thing. The face. I've noticed that, and I'm sure I'll see that in further movies down the line if I ever get a chance to watch that. We'll talk about that in a minute too. All right. Negatives. Dawn is the worst friend ever. She's horrible. Like I mentioned earlier, there's the pizza scene, the pizza shop scene where she's hitting on the killer, trying to get a picture with him. She got the picture. She approached the killer, sat on his lap, put her arm around him, took not a selfie, she took a picture with him for the Instagram or whatever the hell. Okay, and he let her do all of this. So that's also another unique thing about that. Some killers are not that easygoing as far as that. He let people touch him a lot in this movie, when some would not let them touch them like that. And so that kind of put me off a lot with that he did that. But besides the point, Dawn just was nothing but trouble. She didn't help at all. She didn't help at all. She actually made it worse. She brought the drama to Tara and her. Tara would have done a lot better, let's put it like that, if Dawn was not around. If Dawn was not around, Tara would have, it wouldn't be such a hard time for her. I'm just going to say that. I'm not going to say too much. She wouldn't have had such a hard time as she did. Thank you, Dawn, for bringing all the attention to Tara. You really helped Art the Clown out. You and Art the Clown should be, y'all should be partners, because you might as well, because you're helping him. You're not fighting against it. You're helping Art the Clown kill people. Thank you. Another negative. Some of these victims should have died a lot quicker than what they did. There's a scene in here, and I didn't mention this when I was talking about his kills, but he killed one person in a way that, let's just say, somebody got split up. All right. Someone was hung up by their feet, and something extremely horrible was done to them that I've never seen a killer do to a person in a movie ever before. And the irony of it is, it's been done to another type of person a lot, but no one bats an eye. But when this is done to this type of person, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing now that this person got done like this in a horror movie. But the other kind of persons get done like this all the time. I'm being very vague about this because I don't want to give anything away. But if you've seen the movie, you already know what I'm talking about. All right, somebody got it really bad. All right, he even took the time to take something off just so that part, that area of the body could be exposed, and he can get a real good rip into it. Okay, and speaking about that, let's get back to that the topic that I was talking about. While he was doing this, it shouldn't have taken that long for that person to die. The person should have died from shock alone, from what was happening to them. There is no way he got that far into the kill, and that person was still screaming for their life. But they were still begging for their life while he was doing what he was doing. It's impossible. That's impossible. It's crazy. And there are other things in this movie that were just out of whack too. Like somebody get hit in the head with a hammer, and it felt like no kind of damage was happening. No damage happened to that person at all. They got right back up later on. I'm not gonna say who. They got right back up like nothing happened. I'm like, no, that's not possible. Please stop that. Please stop that. Oh, y'all must be like metahumans from DC or something, because this can't be true. This can't be true. You have to. There's going to be a few screams and pain going on, and then you're going to slowly die. In some instances, quickly die. Okay, so no, let's not do that. Let's not do that. Last negative. The beginning of the movie should have been rotated to another area in the film. I'm not going to say where it should have been rotated to, but it didn't belong at the beginning of the movie because it really ruined the entire effect to how this all plays out. If you want someone to be on the edge of their seat, wondering what's going on, wondering how's this all gonna play out, don't put that at the beginning of the movie, because the scene they put at the beginning of the movie just tells you so much before you see how everything goes. Before you see how half the movie even goes out, you're already figuring out, oh, so this is gonna be the person that, and it ruins it. It didn't ruin it too much, but it just, that shock value I could have had by finding out that this person did what happened at the beginning of the movie would have been so much better if I didn't find it out until later on. Or maybe not include that scene at all. How about you don't include it at all, or put it at the end or something? Okay, it doesn't completely destroy the movie, but it took away from what the movie could have brought to me if they didn't, just show me so early what's kind of going on here. All right, but it's cool because I still gotta give this a hell yes, a hell yeah. I haven't seen a killer like this in a minute. Terrifier was crazy. It was insane. It was insane. There are things on this movie that some people are scared to do in their films. So I commend the filmmaker for this. And I hear there's a Terrifier 2 that is banned. It's so crazy. It's banned. It makes me want to watch that movie even more after knowing that part 2 is banned. You have to sign up for some kind of program or something to watch it. I don't know if I want to do that, honestly, but I might just have to do it because I have to see the scene that got it cut off from any other subscription or any other showing. Why is it so insane? I know why. They gave me an idea why, but I want to see it in action. All right, press that like, share, and you better subscribe.